Every morning for decades, a man's value was measured by how early he woke up, how steady he showed up, and how useful he remained. But for 41% of men who spent their lives clocking in, retirement doesn't just clear the calendar, it erases a mission. Why does the emptiness hit hardest after the routine ends? And what secret cost does this silence really carry? The answer begins long before the alarm ever stopped ringing. Before retirement, life ran on a schedule as steady as the ticking of a wall clock. For men like Tom, the day began before sunrise, work boots by the door, lunch pail packed, uniform shirt pressed. The factory floor waited, and so did the expectation to show up every single day. For decades, this was the rhythm for millions. Clock in, do your part, clock out. In the late 20th century, only 41% of men managed to hold steady employment from their 20s to their late 50s. Even with layoffs and job changes, the identity of being a worker never faded. It was always, I'm in between things, never, I'm done. The Social Security Act set age 65 as the finish line, but the real measure was reliability. The unspoken rule was simple: handle it, don't complain, keep going. This credo echoed across generations, shaping not just what a man did, but who he was. The first morning after retirement, the house feels different. No alarm, no boots waiting by the door, no reason to rush. The kitchen is quiet except for the steady tick of a wall clock. Tom sits at the table, hands wrapped around a coffee mug that's gone cold. For years, that mug was just a stop on the way to something else, a shift, a job, a task waiting. Now, it's the main event. Time stretches out, unclaimed and unfamiliar. The calendar is empty, but the hours feel heavier than a full day's work. Tom remembers a phrase he heard from his father and his father's friends: I'm in between things. It was how men explained away layoffs or slow seasons, a way to stay tethered to the idea of being needed. But in this moment, there's no between. There's just the silence and the uneasy sense that something essential has slipped away overnight. Mike sits alone in a corner booth, the hum of the diner barely filling the space around him. For many men, this quiet isn't just a passing mood, it's a measurable change. Studies show mental health drops by 6 to 9% in the years after retirement. Loneliness rises too, with 27% of men over 65 reporting they often or always feel alone. Yet only 18.9% seek help for these feelings. Most carry the weight in silence, answering, I'm fine, even as their world gets smaller. The cost isn't just emotional, it's a hidden crisis that grows behind closed doors. For men who spent years as the go-to guy, the one who fixed the leak, closed the deal, or kept the line moving, the drop into retirement lands harder. Losing that steady stream of calls and questions isn't just emotional, it's a shock to the system. Studies show that after retirement, difficulties with mobility and daily activities rise between 5 and 16%. The body slows down without the old routines, and the mind misses the daily proof of being needed. Even stress hormones like cortisol can take time to settle as the nervous system adjusts to a life without constant demands. Tom's toolbox sits closed in the garage, and Joe finds himself listening for a phone that rarely rings. This isn't weakness, it's the body and mind searching for a new mission. A new rhythm can start with something small. Tom makes coffee at the same time each morning, not because he has to, but because it sets the day in motion. Joe picks one job each week, like tightening a loose bolt on the porch rail or helping a neighbor with a fence. Mike dials a friend every Friday, just to check in. These aren't grand gestures or self-help slogans. They are anchors, a daily ritual, a single finished task, a regular call. Each step brings back a piece of structure, a sense of purpose, and the quiet proof that being needed never really ends. Purpose doesn't disappear, it changes shape. Tom finds himself tightening a neighbor's loose gate, the same hands that once kept a factory line running, now keeping a small corner of the street in order. Joe's workshop light glows late into the evening, sawdust gathering on the workbench as he repairs an old chair for his daughter. These moments aren't about filling time, they're quiet. Proof that being needed is still possible, just in new ways. Even a simple call or a small fix can bring back the sense that you matter, and that's enough to start feeling whole again. What about you? Has retirement felt hardest because of the silence, the loss of purpose, or not feeling needed? Share your answer in the comments below. Today, 1 in 3 retired men faces deeper loneliness than expected. As roles change, the real challenge is finding where you're needed next. What does purpose look like for you now?